Dave Hill here. Welcome to lesson 11. I was kind of distraught because I was listening to some very sad music from my friend Frankenstein, and it really put me in a sad mood. But I'm going to show you how to play sad music today because I learned a lot from my friend Frankenstein. He's going to show me how to do it. Okay. So the last chord that we will learn in our series of bar chords is going to be from, you guessed it, the D shape. Okay. The D shape is a great chord in open position because it offers the capability of doing all kinds of fun stuff like hammer-ons. Right? You can add this note to it. Right? You can add bass notes to them. Okay, all that stuff's great, but we want to be able to do that stuff in different positions as well, other than the key of D, or other keys that have a D chord in them. So what do we have to do? Of course, we have to refinger the bottom, or the top part of the chord. Where the root is an open D, now we can play it with our first finger. So that's what I've shown you over here on my board. Just to be clear, there's the D chord that we did play. Right? And when we move it up, when we make it a movable shape, we get this kind of form. This was in the key of E, for example. Now, that's where the open D was before. And now we've got a movable shape that we can achieve that same kind of bright D quality on in any key up and down on the 4th string. And that was the reason that we studied last lesson, the roots up and down on the 4th string. Remember when we did that? We did the roots up and down on the D string, and now we're able to find a use for those. So this is going to be an E major chord, for example, in this fingering. We're going to go up to the key of G. We can find it right there. How about if I said the key of B? Okay, no problem. G, A, B, right there. Okay, so we can do all kinds of cool stuff in this fingering as well. Let's say we went back to G. You can see that if you barred across the four strings there, and you picked up this finger right here, you get a note underneath your finger that sounds really good, in addition to the 3rd right here. It's actually the 2nd degree of the scale. That's the same thing as doing this right here. But now we can do it here. We're going to cover a whole lesson on this kind of stuff in open string playing, utilizing extra notes in some of the previous lessons or some of the upcoming lessons. Sorry. But anyway, we're going to do... You might have noticed, in fact, Frankenstein, my friend, was doing a lot of that when we were playing. That was what he was doing a lot on these kinds of chords. Okay, so check it out. That's all 5 shapes now. We've got literally every chord that we learned is an open string. The C chord, the A chord, the G chord, the E chord, and the D chord. Remember I told you in the very beginning of our lessons to remember the word caged, because C, A, G, E, D spells caged, okay? And now we've got a corresponding bar chord shape with every one of these open string shapes. There's the C form of the open string chord right here. In this case, it's D. Here's the A form in a movable cage chord right here. This is the C chord. Here's the G shape in a bar chord. Here's the E shape in a bar chord. And now the D shape, in a bar chord. So just, if you ever want to remember what the order of chords are, remember the CAGED system. Okay? So now what I want to show you is to see how all these CAGED chords link up. Okay? So let's just take one key now that we've learned our final bar chord and play all of the positions of the bar chords in one position. So let's start with the key of C, and in this case we'll start with the open C chord right here. Okay? Now the next version of a C chord, or the next position of a C chord, is the bar chord from the A form. Okay? And as we move up the neck, we're going to find the next bar chord that's available as a C shape is right here. And you can see how the roots of each of these chords will overlap. So here's the next root position, and you can see right there would form the next C shape. And this represents originally the G form, or this. Okay? The next chord form with the roots right here represents the E form, but this is in the key of C. And then the next form, in fact the last one we just learned, is right up here, is the roots are right here. It makes it a C shape. And then when we get all the way up to here again, this is the chord fretted version of C. Here. Okay, so now we can put all these chords together. C, open C, bar chord, bar chord, bar chord, another one, and okay, that's a big step right there. You guys have learned a lot of chords right now. The system is really going to help you remember these in so many different forms of other chords we're going to get out of it. So it's really important to memorize the CAGED system. And I like to actually just, if I take this down for a second.